The pilot fire in San Bernardino County has grown once again.
It's consuming very dry brush that hasn't burned in years, and the poor air quality has forced the closure of dozens of schools. KTLA's Mark Bester is in Silverwood Lake with an update for us. Mark, good morning.
Jess and Chris, good morning. This is the really nerve-wracking part. When we first arrived this morning at about 4 o'clock, you could definitely feel the temperatures. It was about 50 degrees. The wind was at bay, and all of that has quickly changed. It is very warm right now, and one thing you're going to notice right now as we give you these live images right here of this fire and the smoke, you're noticing the smoke isn't rising straight up. It's actually moving from the south to the north, all indicative of the fact that the winds are picking up, and it's only adding fuel to this fire. These are the live images, but let's show you some of the incredible pictures that we shot yesterday right around this fire. And one thing you're going to notice how strong the flames are. It was fueled by the brush, by the timber that is very, very dry. Jess was mentioning this area has not burned for a very long time, but also the wind. The wind was so strong that the fire jumped Highway 173 at one point yesterday. We also have a brand new update on this fire. It has grown from 6,300 acres to just under 7,000, and the containment is remaining the same. It is only 6% contained ever since it broke out around noon on Sunday. We've been speaking with fire officials about what they're worried about and what they're up against. Here is what one official told us.
This is the prevailing wind pattern here in Summit Valley. In the afternoon, the winds pick up. You can almost set your clock by them. It's about a 15-mile-an-hour sustained wind with about 30-mile-an-hour gusts. We start getting embers spotting, some of what you've actually seen here. And so a lot of crews from the county, from CAL FIRE, from the Forest Service.
The other thing we're keeping our eyes on right now, the evacuation orders. 5,200 homes under mandatory evacuation order. In fact, some of them under voluntary. About 4,700 of those homes are up in the mountain areas, and then about 500, I believe, in the Hesperia area. And as we come back at our live, we have to talk about this smoke. As we mentioned, the smoke moving from south to north because of the wind. The wind is pushing it north, and because of that, we have some very poor air quality. So poor, in fact, that we have 3 school districts that have canceled classes today. Apple Valley, Silver Valley, as well as Hesperia. So no school today. Whether it's going to be in for tomorrow, that's something that remains to be seen, but we're going to keep our eye on the situation. But again, you were looking live at the pilot fire this morning. You could see the white smoke. Every so often we see that dark plume indicative of a tree, possibly a structure burning. We'll have much more on this story coming up on the KTLA5 News at 1 and 3. In the meantime, you can download our app for the very latest on the mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders. Sending it back to you in the studio.